Thank you, Abby. Let's get cooking. So I'm Anna, and I'm excited to get grilling and chilling with one of my go-to easy recipes that will totally wow your friends and family at your next gathering. So I gave Pampered Chef a try 26 years ago to help the family budget as a stay-home mom with 3 kiddos under the age of 4. And I always had more than money. My wow food factor before joining Pampered Chef was bringing peanut butter and jelly to a gathering. So I used to be labeled Mission Impossible in the kitchen when I started, but trust me, if I could do this, you can do this. So we are grilling and chilling today with ceviche, and these products make it super easy from prepping it to serving it. And like Abby said, 3 of you guys are going to get 8 of the top products that I am using today. So I want to hear throughout this, like, what are you most excited about potentially winning? So ceviche was actually named as, it was named after a marinated fish stew, which is kind of funny because it's not even close to a stew. But I love that you can make it quick with already cooked shrimp, cook shrimp yourself, or with raw fish by marinating it or cooking it in lime juice. So today I used the cast iron grill pan that I grilled up the shrimp perfectly in the cast iron grill pan. And then I just diced it up in little bite-sized pieces. So this old new way of cooking gives you the flexibility. So here it is all nice and diced up. Gives you the flexibility to take it from stovetop to oven to grill. It's a cleaner, non-stick way of cooking. I mean, like, seriously, look how gorgeous, right, these shrimp are. And they cooked in like 3 to 4 minutes, super fast here in the cast iron piece. So one of the things about our cast iron is it's made by Lodge, and it comes pre-seasoned, which is fantastic. So it makes it ready to use right out of the box. So do you have cast iron? If you do, like, what piece of the cast iron do you have? And, are you afraid to use it? Cast iron was meant to be passed down from generation to generation. So maybe do you have one that got passed down to you and it's tucked away in a cabinet somewhere? If you've got questions about how to use it, how to clean it, or how to get started, make sure to check out our blog because there's lots of tips on how-tos to get started or to get restarted with your cast iron. So one of the next products I'm going to use is our quick slice. And I love this. It's got all these super sharp little blades that go into this little holder. So one of the things about this, if you have the old egg slicer that Pampered Chef has, that is a phenomenal tool. This is kind of like the egg slicer on steroids. So you can see if I was doing this with like zucchini, I could make zucchini planks out of this to put them on the grill. You can use it for tomato. You can use it for strawberries, mushrooms. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can use it for, but you can put more of them on here at one time. So the key to this is you just kind of want to pop it and then rock it just like that. So I turned the cucumber so that now I have little pieces like this. So what's great about this is if you like stuff that is perfectly diced, you can just keep turning it and get the little perfect little diced pieces that you want to go in your food. So we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to pop it and rock it here. So let me just show you. Can you see that? Can you see how evenly diced all of these are? We're going to go ahead and dump this here in our bowl. All right, so next we're going to do the tomato. Now, one thing with the tomato that you want to remember with the ceviche is you want to seed the tomato before you slice it up. And the reason being, if not, the tomato can cause too much liquid in your ceviche, and then it gets more like that stew that we don't want. So here we go. So here's my tomato. I just sliced it one way, flipped it, sliced it the other way. And then the last thing we're going to do is our jalapeno peppers. So same thing. I'm going to lay those guys on here, pop it and rock it. Pick these pieces up, do it one more time, and then now we have all of our jalapeno peppers all taken care of. All right, so let's move this guy back here. All right, so next we're going to bring the onion to the party. So the Rapid Prep mandolin is definitely one of the favorites out there. It went viral when it first came out. And if you haven't seen this before, definitely check with your consultant because it's got 2 different settings on here. One controls the width, one controls the depth. And I love it because with onions, you're no longer emotionally attached to your onion. It's got a great guard here. So the blade is going over the food instead of your hand going over the blade. So it's super, super safe. So here we've got our onion. And I turned it sideways so I can just kind of show you what we end up with here. are just little diced pieces of onion. So we're gonna dump these in here. Now, the other thing I'm using here is one of our scrapers. So what scrapers do you have? Because you know, scrapers are in every kitchen. I'd like to know how many you have and how old it is. So this is the small mix and scraper. We've got several different sizes of them, but what's great about these is they're malleable, so you can put them in a bowl. They're heat resistant, they're stain resistant. They're just awesome. So you can't have just one of those. Now I'm going to go ahead and slice up our lime for this because we're going to need it for the garnish later, but I want to show you how it works, how well it works with the lime. So for the lime, I'm going to go ahead and turn it all the way on the whole setting, and then I'm going to put it on about 5. And for the onion, I had it on the thinnest, width of the setting on the top knob. So I had it on a little thin setting. And then the bottom one I had set at about a 3. So it wasn't too thin, but it wasn't thick either. So we're gonna go ahead and put our lime in here and watch what it does to this lime, y'all. This is absolutely amazing. So there we go. We've got limes to bring to the party that are perfectly and beautifully sliced. So we're gonna leave those little guys right there because we're gonna use that for the garnish. But next we're gonna go ahead and take care of our lime juice that's gonna go in there. Now I've already started doing a little bit ahead of time, but I wanna give you guys a little bit of education on a knife. So Pampered Chef has made it super easy for us, and they've given us these 2 little dots right here. So I want you to take your loser fingers, and I want you to think, you don't want to lose a finger when you're using this knife. You take those loser fingers, you wrap them around the neck of the knife, the rest of your fingers go around the handle, and that creates an extension of your hand that makes it the safest way to use this knife. Now, with this knife, we're going to go ahead and take our citrus press. And our citrus press, love this, okay? Perfect right now for the summertime, for drinks, for marinades, anything like that. One little hint about your citrus press, and whenever you're doing lemons or limes or even oranges, is you want to take your lime and put it cut side down. If not, trust me, you end up with a citrus facial that doesn't feel so great. I've got my splash guard on right now, so we're good. You give it a squeeze, you get all the juice. If there's any limes, any seeds that are left in here, all the seeds are left right in there. Easy, right? And then look what it does to your lime. Completely inverts it. So my husband and I had a little competition one time to see who could get the most juice out of a lime. He was squeezing it, I was pressing it. Guess who won? All right, so our Easy Read measuring cup. Tell me if you've got these. This is one of a set of 4 of them. The thing that I love about these is you can see all the measurements. So if you've got multiple things to measure, guess what? You can just either add fractions or pretend to and use one measuring cup, so there's only one thing to wash. This is the 1 cup one. We're going to go ahead and pour this on into our bowl. Okay, so next we're going to take care of our cilantro. So the herb prep tools. How many of you guys have a garden, and what are you growing in your garden? Or how many times do you get your herbs from the grocery store and they go bad within a couple of days? So the herb prep tool, this little container here, you put water in it, and there's a little marker right there, if you guys can see the water moving. There's a little marker that lets you know how much water is in there. There's even a separate container for ones that need to stay more dry. So I've got our cilantro in here. I'll move this over before I knock it over. But I want to show you the other 2 members of this little family. So I've got some cilantro ready to go. And I just kind of wrap it in a damp towel just so that it stays fresh. Because the next guy is this little herb stripper. So the little herb stripper has all different size holes depending upon the size of your stem. And it's not good just for cilantro. You can use it for woodier stems like rosemary. You can use it for thyme. Use it for just about anything. But once you get moving with it, like you can pick a couple of stems, put them in a larger hole, strip it on down, and then guess what I got? I have just the cilantro ready to roll. Now, cilantro is one of those herbs that you can use the whole thing. You don't have to just use the leaf part of it. But once you have the leaf part of it, put it here in the herb mill. Now, there's a little ball in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a weighted white ball in here that you just give it a shake. Take off this little guy here. And then makes it so much easier to go ahead and mill your fresh herbs. So I'm going to pick this up so you guys can see. Can you see? Oh, I almost lost the spoon there. Can you see how it totally cut those up? So if you're not real comfortable with cutting with a knife, with fresh herbs, this is a really easy way to do it. So one of the little tips on this that I'll give you guys is make sure your cilantro is dry. If it is wet, it all just gets stuck and it doesn't always work that well. But you just have to kind of shake it and go with it. But you can see, like I literally just milled all of that cilantro, and now you guys can see the little bottle. So up to this point, if you were doing this with shrimp, one hint that I can give you guys is don't put the shrimp in yet. You can do this beginning part here before, even the day before, but you don't want to put the shrimp in there because the lime actually makes the shrimp get kind of tough. And that's where I'll show you guys the fish that I got. I like to use it with fish. And I'll show you guys what I do with the fish for the ceviche. So again, if you're doing it with shrimp, you can make everything but the shrimp part ahead of time, and then wait till you're ready to serve it, and then toss in the shrimp about an hour before, just so it kind of melds all those seasonings. But if you're doing it with raw fish that you're going to cook, you're going to marinate and cook in lime juice, then you definitely want, you can do it ahead of time, and it tastes absolutely amazing. Okay, so the next one is our avocado knife. Now this one's a super fun, easy tool, makes it so much easier for your avocados. And I'm going to give you guys a little hint. There's a little sharp knife, the little sharp side on there, and a non-sharp side. You can actually poke the avocado with the non-sharp side, and it tends to not pick up some of that skin. This is the best right here. No more stabbing it with a knife. You can grab it with this, pull it out. Ta-da! We have our avocado seed done. We're going to knock that over there. So then you take that non-sharp side again, go right around the side of the avocado, and it'll pop that whole entire avocado out. Now I'm going to show you two different ways that you can cut this avocado. Guess what I'm bringing back? Another quick slice, because I love this guy. So you can take your avocado, pop it on here. And again, we're going to take the avocado. So again, here's another little tip for you. When you're doing an avocado, especially when it's kind of ripe, you use the little mini serving spatula. Take it and turn it. There we go. Then I'm going to dump my avocado in there. It's a little bit, there we go, it's attached. And then the other way that you can do it, you don't have the quick slice, use the avocado tool, because right here in the avocado tool, you can slice it up and do this to put it on a salad, put it in here for the ceviche. So you can see I've got it all. Can you see how it's all nice and diced up there? We're going to go ahead and just drop it right here into our ceviche. Now the avocado is the last one to the party. And again, look, you see how clean it gets everything out. Avocados are expensive, right? So you definitely don't want to waste any of it. All right, so the last thing that's going to go in here is our salt. Sprinkle the salt on in. That was just 1 tablespoon of salt. And then I'm going to give this a little toss. We're going to serve this today in the cool and serve. Now, there's several different tools and products that we have that you can serve this in, but I want to show you, look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is my dinner tonight. I'm so excited. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? What do you think? Would you add anything to it? Probably not. Okay, so today we're going to be using the cool and serve bowl. Now, if you don't have any of our cool and serve line, oh my gosh, it is the best. And I'm going to show you a couple little fun things with it. So it comes, all of our cool and serve lines. So we have bowls, we have trays, we have all sorts of pieces. They all come with these little freezer packs. And these freezer packs have like that same gel in it, like the freezer packs that you buy for your ice chest do. And so you keep them in your freezer. So you're ready to use them whenever you want. The cool and serve bowl has 3 pieces to it. You just flip the cool and serve. You flip the freezer pack here in the bottom. But here's the nice thing. You make this ahead of time, right? You're not ready to go, but you need to go ahead and get it served up and pretty. We're going to scoop this in here. And then once I do that, I can put this whole thing in the refrigerator. Let's see, it won't quite all fit. I can take this part of it and put it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to go. And I can leave that freezer pack in the freezer till I'm actually ready to take it with me. Then I can just pull this out because the lid stays on, pull this out, pop it in, and boom, we're ready to go. So do you remember I cut those lines ahead of time with the Rapid Cut mandolin? I'm going to show you guys a fun little way that you can garnish this up. So if you take those lime slices and you cut just about a half of an inch into 2 of the limes, this is also really pretty to do with like lemons and limes or oranges and lemons or lemons and oranges. But you take those little cut pieces and you just intersect them like this. So easy, y'all. Put that right there in the middle. We're going to grab a couple pieces of our shrimp. Oh, I'm just going to grab them. Here we go. We're going to put these right here in the center. Let's grab some of our cilantro. We're going to add that to it. And look at that. You've got a beautiful ceviche ready to take with you. Okay, there's something else that you can do with this. So one other thing that I did ahead of time is I made these little tortilla cups. Now you can do these in the mini muffin pan, or you can do these in a large one. So for this, if you wanted to make a ceviche little appetizer that was more of a finger food, use the small scoop. It's another one that we've got a whole family of. And guys, don't separate the families. Like, you got to keep the families. So you can take these little ceviche cups, fill it up with your ceviche, and you've got a great little appetizer to take with you. So you're probably thinking, all right, how do I make these little tortilla cups? Super easy. You take tortillas, and for the mini muffin pan, you actually want to use, you want to cut little 3-inch squares. And let me pop a couple of these out so you can see. Can you see that? You take the tortillas, and if they're super thick, kind of roll them out a little bit. And then once you roll them out, cut little 3-inch squares. And then you're going to cut these little 1-inch slices on either side. So you brush it with oil. Oh, and here's another thing you could do. Brush it with oil, and if you wanted to make it a savory with the seasoning, you could use like that same chili lime that I used for the shrimp and sprinkle it on there. But if you wanted to make it sweet, like if you wanted to put like a dessert, make it a dessert cup, then sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on there. Put it on top of the hole, and then you just literally just let these little circles kind of fall onto themselves. I'm going to do one more. Push it on in. And then you bake them at 350. Let me flip that around so you guys can see that. You bake them at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes. You just want to watch them, because once they get that brown factor, like they really hit that brown factor. So you just want to keep an eye on them, but that's it. And then you end up with these adorable little cups. And these cups will actually keep for several days. And so if you put them in an airtight container, they'll actually keep. And oh, let me show you the fish. So I talked about how you can do this with fish, and that's how I like to do it. So if you take any kind of fish, like you can take a sea bass or a tuna, which is what I did today, and you dice it into little pieces, and then you cover it up. Now I took away some of the lime juice so you guys could see, but you cover it up with lime juice, and that marinates the fish or cooks the fish. And so then you add that to your ceviche, and that ceviche will last a couple of days. And trust me, you will, if it's not all gone by the time you take it somewhere, you will be eating it on all sorts of stuff. It's even good to take that leftover and put it on top of a salad. So this was just tuna, is what this was. This is ahi tuna. So it was a bright red tuna, and then I just diced it up and put it in lime juice. It cooked it, and so I can make another batch of ceviche with just this lime juice. And so here's a couple of fun little facts about ceviche. So it has South American origins to it, but there's different ways that you can serve it. So in Mexico, it's typically served with like tortillas, kind of like a dip or a salsa. But in Peru, it's actually served with slices of cold sweet potatoes or even corn on the cob. But in Ecuador, ceviche is served with popcorn, nuts, or even corn nuts. So I'd like to know, like, how would you like to serve it? Would you want to try one of these other countries and how they serve it? Or would you want to kind of do what we call the traditional here in the United States, which is, serving it up with tortilla chips? So lots of fun things to do with this. Love the ceviche. Trust me, you will wow the heck out of your family by making it. It's very easy, and it tastes absolutely amazing. And that's it. Abby, back to
Wow,
you.
Anna, I'm here. Sorry. I was just so blown away by the chat was blowing up and I couldn't get to my camera button quick enough, but that is amazing. I love ceviche and I've never made it myself because honestly, it feels so intimidating and you make it seem so approachable. So super awesome. Thank you so much. So few housekeeping things. We realized that the featured products and recipes document wasn't correct in the beginning. We added it. It's in there now. You should be able to see it if you click on resources. If you don't see it, we will email it with the replay so you will have it. But the information in that handout is exactly what you're looking for, right? To see who won the 3 giveaways. So the products in those giveaways first, before I announce the names, the products are the 12-inch cast iron, the quick slice, the 8-inch chef's knife, the herb prep set, the rapid prep mandolin.
Nope.
There's so many, Anna can't even keep up.
Can't keep up.
The avocado tool,
What do you think?
the citrus press, and the 1-quart cool and serve bowl. So all of those products worth $400 in the US, $500 in Canada are going to, can we do a little drum roll, please? Susan Ellsworth, Wanda Hamlin, and Linda Jackson. Congratulations. Again, that's Susan Ellsworth, Wanda Hamlin, and Linda Jackson. We will send you an email after the show and we will get all your information so we can send those products to you. So exciting. So for those that were asking, all of you who registered by 4 p.m. today were registered into that drawing. So just by registering and being here, you had the chance to win. And so we're so excited for those 3 ladies that won. Now let's go into the Q&A, Anna. I have some good questions for you.
All right, I'm ready.
So what types of things can you use the quick slice for?
Oh my gosh. There's not a whole lot you can't use it for. So you can do, 3 to 4 tomatoes on here, 4 hard-boiled eggs, mushrooms, kiwi, bananas, strawberries, zucchini, cucumber. About the only thing you can't do on here are potatoes and onions because they're just too hard. And these blades have some give to them, but they have to be able to go in those little slots. And so onions and potatoes, sweet potatoes, those are a little too tough. But literally just about anything else you can use on here. And it's fast, like you saw that, super fast.
Perfect. And so you mentioned onions. So the rapid prep mandolin, you can do onions in there. What settings did you use?
Let me take it apart so I can give you more of a visual. So there's 2 settings on here. The top one determines the width of your food. So you've got, where am I? There we go. You've got the whole slice, you've got a thick, wide slice, and then you have a little thin slice. So think kind of like a matchstick. And then the bottom one determines the thickness. So the bigger the number, the thicker it is. So the onion I had all the way on this little thin kind of matchstick slice. And then I had the bottom one like on about a 3 is what I had it on. And that's what produced, just to me, these little perfect little dice pieces. Let's see if I can round a few more up here so you guys can see, just these little perfect size little dice pieces. If you wanted them bigger, or thicker, then you can definitely adjust it. But if you're wanting kind of a dice like that. And one little tip with that is take your onion and cut it in half. I don't know if you saw mine was, a whole piece that was cut in half, and put the little curved part up against the blade where the blade's going to go. And that's what's going to help give you that dice piece. Now, a few of them might still turn out a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can find one, here's one. But to me, it gets the ball over the net. I'm good.
Awesome. So next question is about the herb mill. What herbs can you use with it? And can you mix herbs using in there at the same time?
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Absolutely. So I mainly use it for cilantro and parsley. Those are the 2 main ones that I use it for. Time is a little too small. Really, that's what I mainly use it for. But I'd love to know, what would y'all use it for? Those are the 2 main herbs that I use it for the most because we use a ton of parsley, a ton of fresh parsley, and a ton of cilantro too.
Awesome. So there's a question from Lisa asking, can you make this recipe with chicken or beef if you're not a fish person?
You know, see why not? I mean, it's going to taste a little bit different, but I don't see why you couldn't. I think it's still going to be a really fresh summer tasting salad with all the fresh vegetables and stuff in it. So I say give it a try. I would probably go with chicken before I went with beef.
And I would go with cooking it, not expecting the lime juice to cook it.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely cook the chicken and the beef. Whatever you put in there, it definitely
just
needs to
throwing that
actually
out
be
there for
cooked.
food safety purposes.
Yeah, but that's why you need the grill pan.
Yeah, exactly. So question about that. Perfect. Next step. Did you put anything on the shrimp before cooking? Any oil or seasoning?
I didn't put any oil. You do want to make sure that the shrimp are really dry. You don't want them to be wet because then they end up kind of steaming instead of actually grilling. So after I took the shells off the shrimp, I just layered them between paper towels to keep them dry, and I used one of our glass leak-proof glass containers. And then when I was ready to cook it, I just pulled it out, and I used the chili lime is what I used. And then just a little bit of salt, and that was it. I didn't put anything in the pan. I didn't put any oil. I literally just used the chili lime and a little bit of salt. You could do a little salt and pepper, but why not go for one of our seasonings?
Yeah, the chili lime sounds delicious and so summery, right?
Yeah.
What type of salt do you like to use, Anna?
I like to use the Himalayan salt. We have a great Himalayan, mix with the Himalayan salt, and that's the one that I prefer to use. I've got it here, in the salt and pepper mill. Let's see if I can grab it with one hand here. And you can see the pink. I'm about need to refill it. You can kind of see the pink little pieces in there. That's the salt that I prefer to use.
Awesome. Can you tell us which of the products you used tonight are dishwasher safe?
Oh, everything except the knife, the cast iron skillet, and the freezer part of the pool insert. That's it. Everything else is dishwasher safe.
That's
Those are
great.
the only two things. The knife and
there
the
are
cast iron
so
skillet.
many Pampered Chef products that are dishwasher safe, and that just makes everything so much easier.
Yes.
Okay, that is the last question. So thank you, Anna. You did a fabulous job, and everyone is so excited. I want to see all the ceviche pictures on social the next couple days. Do hashtag Pampered Chef or hashtag Let's Get Cooking. We'd love to see them. Thank you,
I will
Anna.
do that. No, thank you, Abby. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Bye, everyone.